Okay, welcome everybody to this session that you join in to hear more about the master branding for luxury fashion and design. And before we go over to the presenters to explain this webinar and this master, I'm going to briefly explain to you some interactive options. Hello, good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, wherever you are. My name is Luc Mulling, and I'm the moderator. And just a couple of interactive options. First of all, you can chat where you're logging in from, as already some people did, so great to see. Also, you can write your questions at any time through the panel next to it. If you do that there, because then we can make sure we can find your questions and don't miss any, and we'll be dealing with the questions at the end. Also, I'll be opening up a couple of poll questions. I'm starting actually to open one right now to know you a little bit better and to get some feedback. For example, what is the most important for you in selecting a university program? So you can answer that as well. And last but not least, we also have a little fun button, so to say, to make it more interactive. A button at the bottom of the screen we can click on, and you can write us any feedback if you hear something, for example, you like. Exactly, that's the one. So let us know. And as mentioned, we'll have the speakers lined up for you. We're going over to Jacopo in Milan, and he'll introduce himself and lead you into the presentation. Good luck.
Thank you, Luke, and thank you everybody for joining us today. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you and introduce you to Raffles Milano and the Masters in Branding for Luxury Fashion and Design. I am seeing a lot of interaction in the chat, so keep on doing that, please. I would also like to remind you that in the hands out section, you can download the brochure of the masters that you're speaking about today. And why am I telling you about this? Because we would like in this presentation and in the conversation that we're having with the course coordinator and a student of the master course to go beyond the brochure, to go and let you know something more and to let you have some insight in the world of branding today and in the last 20 years, so that thanks to our presentation, you understand why it's so important to join this master course and why it really makes the difference to be and study with us. So without further ado, I would like to start the presentation about Raffles Milano. And then I will leave the stage to Elena Sacco, the course coordinator, as well as the general manager of the school, and Fabio De Benetti, one of the current students of the Masters in Branding. After, I will go shortly in the admission process. And after that, we will have our Q&A session. So feel free to start asking your questions in the chat, and we will answer to such questions at the end of the presentation. So a little bit of introduction about Raffles Milano. We are the European hub of the largest independent design education network, which was born in Singapore, but then spread around with over 16 campuses worldwide. This is the campuses that we currently have active in Bangkok, Jakarta, in Singapore, in Mumbai, Riyadh. But the last one that was born was Milano. And why Milano? Because it's city where creativity is all about. So we do have fashion brands, we do have design brands, we do have services for the design and creative industry, and all of this makes it the perfect place to study design and creativity. But before going to the relationship between Raffles and Milano, which makes an important part in your decision to study abroad, I would like to focus a little bit on what makes us special, what makes us different than all the other design schools that are in the panorama right now. First of all, as I mentioned, we are an international school in Italy and not an Italian school with English courses. And this makes a difference because the staff is international, the students are from all over the world, the teachers are a little bit Italian, but also a little bit international, specifically in this master's course in branding. They will fly from all over the world to Milano to teach you and let you know what's going on in the branding industry right now. But so this is why we're cosmopolitan, but we are also believing that creativity has no boundaries. And without boundaries, it means that we would like you to experiment and touch with your own hands all aspects of the creative industry. And this is why also in the title of the Masters, we speak about luxury fashion and design, because at school, you will be part of a community in which you will collaborate with the fashion design students, the visual design students, the product and interior design students. We will design experiences for you to take part in, which reflect what's going on in the job world when you finish. And one example, and I will talk a little bit more about this later on, is the 72-hour workshop in which all students of the school, regardless the course, regardless the year they are in, they participate, they sleep at school, they respond to clients' briefing, and they deliver the results in just 72 hours. It's like a hackathon, but for design. And this is what we call the hybridization of disciplines, because yes, you will study branding, but in the real world, you will need to know a little bit of fashion, a little bit of design, a little bit of visual to be effective professionals and to deliver your results. Last but not least, we are a small school. We are a boutique school. I'm going to show you the building. I'm going to show you how this very little community of persons who are united by the will to teach, learn, study design is in the center of Milano, in a very central neighborhood, but it's also a very small community, and this is important because, first of all, you will get to know each other, but most of all, the professors will get to know you personally, will get to know each and every one of you personally. They're going to be just one WhatsApp away from you, and you are going to be able to learn from them, but also to take the advantage of the opportunities, the real life opportunities that they will bring to the table. They will provide you with the first experiences in terms of internship or job opportunities, even before our career office does. The fact of being small also brings about a respect for each individual and also the opportunity to tailor-made the educational experience according to each and everyone's needs. This is the building I was telling you about. I'm in it right now. It might seem a little cold in the background, but I assure you that I am in a classroom right now, which normally it's full of students. Now it's very tidy, but usually it's very, it's very messy in the good way, full of colors and projects. But we are all in one building, all students working together, and there is a lot of interaction between one class and the other. But without further ado, let's play a short video and we will show you a virtual tour of our school. So I hope you enjoyed, and let's move on with the presentation before giving the space to my colleague Elena and the student Fabio. I mentioned the fact that we are an international school in Milano, but what does it mean? It's important for two different reasons. Well, first of all, you see the Duomo behind the tram. It's important because Milano is the city of fashion, is the City of Design. We have the most important design week of the world. We have one of the 4 most important fashion weeks of the world. But because of those reasons, it's a magnet for creative people. It's a magnet for services dedicated to the creative industries. And this makes it the perfect place to learn and study and to be in contact every day with new companies, new studio, new ideas, and learn from the best professionals in the world. At the same time, it's important because the school has its own laboratories. You will do a lot of activities at school, but it's important because we want you to create your own professional network outside of the school. So it means that, yes, you will spend a little bit of time at school, but you will spend a lot of time also outside, knowing people, networking, getting their personal contact in your phone, and therefore creating your professional network in Milano, but also outside of Milano in an international way while you're still a student. And this is super important because when the course will finish, of course, the school will still be, and we will still be your reference point. And by the way, I forgot a very important point in my introduction. We can be your gateway to Asia because thanks to our network of schools that was born in Asia and it's developed in Asia, in case you're interested in exploring business opportunities, professional opportunities in Asia, we are able to give you such bridge to open you that gate to Asia. We will also, by letting you study not just in the school, but in the city, build this professional network all around. So this is the reason why Milano is the perfect place for you to come and study, not just as a student, but also to stay as a professional. I mentioned the fact that for us, creativity has no borders, and I also mentioned the fact that you will have contact with students and disciplines from all the other courses. But let's go a little bit deeper into some technical aspects of the classes. I mentioned the fact that you are a small school, and therefore also the classes are really small, and this is also a nice moment to tell you about that, because the master course in branding is the one that fills up very quickly. And so we are at the moment of the year in which a very few weeks are left before the class is getting full. So I encourage you after this webinar to get in touch with your advisor. It can be me, it can be Laura, it can be Eva, and get started with the admission process, because not a lot of weeks are left before the class gets full. But it's also important because, as I mentioned, we are able to give you individual tutoring, because when you have 20 professors and 50 students, this makes it easier for us to go and explore a particular subject that you're interested in, for example. So you just need to raise your hand, let the professor know what you're interested in, and we are able to adjust the learning experience to your interests. What about our teachers? Our teachers are both protagonists of Made in Italy, Compasso d'Oro winners, but also, and you will see that in the brochure that I invite you to check in the handout section and download, very international people working in the best branding agencies that there are in the world. You will see a list of subjects in the brochure, and next to each subject, the link and the name of a branding agency or a studio or a company like Google, Coca-Cola, like very big companies. And why is that? Because in branding, there are two main souls. There is the soul of the company, which wants, it's a brand, and so the marketing director or the branding director inside of it, and we will let you speak with marketing directors, with branding directors. But there is also the side of the agencies or the branding studio, and we will also let you see what happens on that other side. And this is why in the faculty of the masters, you will see the top level professionals in such fields. So once again, download the brochure and check out their names. What about the life in Raffles? We would like to make your experience in Milano as easy as possible. So we made agreements with the healthy food companies, or with gyms, or with sports companies, or as you can see, the magazines. And as a Raffles student, you will have access to all such benefits. But it's important for me to let you know that the school is a place for you to live, whenever you want. Even though, as master students, you will have classes from Wednesday to Saturday in the evening time, so in the afternoon/evening time, and this will leave for you some space in the mornings or in the first part of the week to go on with your personal projects, if you have any, or to dedicate extra time to the projects that you will develop in the masters, because there will be a lot. We mentioned the interdisciplinary workshop. I mentioned quickly the 72 hours workshop, the portfolio night, and the Milan Design Week, which is also another moment in which all the community of Raffles comes together, and also the Milano Moda Graduate Fashion Show, which is another very important event, especially for our fashion students. Right now, I would like to leave the word to my colleague Elena and to the student Fabio De Benetti. They will have a conversation about what happened in the branding in the last 10 to 20 years and why it is so important to study right now the branding as a discipline and in order to be a successful professional. So I kindly ask the direction to invite my colleagues on stage, and I will see you immediately after. There is a problem with the audio. Please, Luke, switch on the audio. Just a second. We are facing some technical issues.
Currently, and since age is probably brand consultant in many different firms, and now in my own firm. But in the same time, I'm also the coordinators of this wonderful branding master course.
Which I'm a student of. Nice to meet you all. I'm Fabio. I have a career in marketing and digital throughout Nike and Jordan brand. And now I'm a proud student of the Raffles schools, which of the course that Elena coordinates. Welcome all.
Thank you. Thanks and everyone to be with us today. Oh, we have been asked to talk about branding, and that actually generally is my favorite subject. So relax, it will take 3 or 4 hours. No, I'm kidding. I think the first subject that should be quite relevant is what had happened to brands and branding in the last years. But if you don't mind, I would cut a long story short and give you maybe different timelines. When I started to consult in branding, it was literally 20 years ago, guess my age. But the point is that at that time, companies and brands, they used to talk and mostly ask and focus their business into identity. So branding for them was identity, creating an identity and establishing the brand itself. Pretty simple, I would say, but then things changed. And what happened is basically, let's jump to 10 years ago. That was the big bang and the big rush, I would say, because all brands started talking about engagement with customers, prospects, whatever. And that was the era of the evolution in experiential marketing and whatever. And what the hell is happening now in the last years? I think there's a lot of stress against brands, because what is happening is that they want to update themselves. So basically, their stronger needs is to be up to speed on the market. My feeling is because the market is going so fast that they are all running against it, and not in very, very often leading the change. They try to follow. I have so many examples in mind, because whenever we talk about something new. Imagine what happened with the metaverse. I used to work on metaverse actually something like 15 years ago. We had some different tools and platforms, and then over the sudden, in a couple of years, it died. And then again, it was the leitmotif of last year, and now it's dead. So,
especially during COVID as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's really becoming something. It's like a fast, quick, and dirty way to approach towards. I think the kind of environment that is outside. So, what do you think about?
Well, there's a lot of new technologies, I think. Right now, of course, the big buzzword is AI. Everyone is running towards, as you were saying, AI. And each brand is trying to, put a stamp on this type of technology. There are a couple of companies that are really using it to, as you were saying before, try to get more in contact and in a more intimate relationship with the consumers. Trying really to create a unique relationship between the company and the consumer that, of course, is unique as a person. And through AI and data analysis, really trying to tailor the experience for that specific customers. On the other side, we have also technologies like blockchain that are really helping, I think, the planet, and will help the planet to become more sustainable, tracking all the production. So also we're shifting, I think technology is helping shifting towards a more, how do you say that? I missed the word. Conscious way of living. And that's also super important. But of course, I think that AI, I don't know what you think about it, but AI is really like what people and brands are really talking about right now. Talking about another technology that is not new, but it's constantly evolving, because at the end of the day, it's made of people, social medias. We have this huge trends on Instagram, TikTok, of influencers and content creators nowadays that are really acting as a brand authenticator. I think that's really the key where brands are also moving. They're not, of course, they have their message and their identity well shown, but they're using these creators to really connect with the communities down there, because their message is authenticated through a person that they trust. So I think that's also something that brands are really doing right now. Influencers, content creators are really gaining a lot of importance, actually, because of this shift. Before brands, and you're an expert on this, they were building their identity. Well, you are, yeah. They're building their identity and reputation on their own. Right now, they need someone to really authenticate them. And that's very interesting. See how those companies are moving.
You touched on another subject that I think is super relevant about the competition, and you mentioned something that was absolutely crossing already my mind. Nowadays, competitors are not only comparable because of the size of the company and the kind of market, because there are so many new players.
Yeah.
That sometimes are really tough and attacking even huge brands. Isn't it becoming really difficult for a brand to establish nowadays?
You mean for a small brand to establish?
Also the other side, also the big brands to feel attacked.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, the barrier at the entry, I think it's very high in every industry. Like, it's very difficult to get inside. But I also think that before, like some years ago, it was more difficult than now. I think that I would say also finally the internet, the technology, artificial intelligence is allowing new creators of brands and companies and new entrepreneurs to really, destroy that wall, that barrier, and really, being able to get inside industries way more easily. With AI now, you can, build yourself some agents. You can do a lot of different tasks by yourself, that then actually cutting down the initial cost of building a new company. On the other side, of course, we have big brands that needs to defend themselves. But I think that actually what we tackled before. So their need to go back to the communities, go back to the roots of the brand. We see a lot of trends of, taking back the old shoes or the vintage pieces. I think Nike, Adidas worked a lot with that and are working a lot with that in the past years. Is really trying to recall some sort of emotion that we got deprived of, and you were saying before that we got naked on the brands. But I really agree in the sense that they're trying to actually let us remind of those times instead of creating something new.
Yeah, but also I think, Fabio, what crossed my mind also is a very positive message that being also small and medium-sized companies able to develop their own brands, I think it's opening up to a wide opportunity for job employment for everybody. Probably you're so young, I'm so old, but when I started talking about branding, really, there was not even a job title for that. We were working as brand consultants with the marketing team or the communication team. Nowadays, even the brand department has become one of the assets inside a company, isn't it? So which are the kind of jobs, I'm curious, which are the kind of jobs that maybe you're thinking about your future or you see around that should fit to your brand knowledge?
I really like, as a passion of mine, I really like to, think about the big picture. So the strategy part, being a brand strategist is really my goal for my future. But yeah, I think that everything related to marketing strategy, to brand architecture, it's super interesting. On the other side, I really think that before there were not many names, many job titles available in the brand space. Now there are too many. So it means that if you're not really vertical with some specific skills on a specific role, you're not going to be considered for that. So you need to be, being able, of course, also to, sort of sell yourself in the right way. But I think that right now the keyword is specialization. So you really need to be vertical on some skills, because a lot of people got engaged in the marketing, the branding. It's a very crowded industry.
So you need a technical knowledge, of course.
You really need to be vertical and specific about, maybe some skills or a specific market or industry. For example, I love basketball. I love streetwear. So of course, for me, that's my area of interest, for example. But also that, I feel like double emotions on this, because I would also like to, try some new industries, see something different that actually I think it's what enrich the life of a branding person so much, because you see so many different things from so many different industries, and at the end of the day, you really can pack it and really understand what branding is about, because you tried in so many different industries that exactly what companies, what the identity is, no matter what the industry is.
And so
I'm a bit jealous.
But so, I mean, I'm wondering, because we really want to make a good job. I mean, it's our priority, but is the master course now helping you, and in which sense in growing this kind of knowledge or capabilities?
Yeah, it's helping a lot. It's going amazing. I think that just having the opportunity to listen to so many professionals, it's helping me and all my colleagues to grow a lot and trying really to understand what is going on right now, like the state of the art in the world of branding. Because like you hear from people that are actually working in those companies that you really want to go for working for. So that's super important for us to hear their experiences and really understand what is required by the market right now. What are the most important skills, and so on and so forth. On the other side, I would say that it's really practical. So it also gives us the opportunity to really test those skills, build those skills if we don't have, or refine them if maybe we did something similar in the past. So I think that's super helpful. And I think also I have already a clear idea of what I would like to do. But for many of my colleagues, it's actually helping them shape their future at the end of the day. So the idea of what they really want to do, what they want to work for, and that's actually amazing. I think it's an amazing contribute, a unique contribute that just this course can give us.
But Fabio, sometimes in class you have really, high end skilled professionals. European president of Land, or I don't know, for example, vice president of Roti flying from New York coming over, the president of the BCMA Association. People that generally maybe sounds a little bit scary. Be honest, because I'm not in the class every day with you. But is it working? Are you working together, or do you feel?
They're amazing people. They're amazing people. They really, allow us to be ourselves in the class. They put themselves to our same level. So it's really a conversation. That's also the beauty of this course, having, as I was saying before, these professionals in the class with you, and you can talk with them, you can interact with them, you can ask them questions, and that really enrich the experiences. Plus, as you were saying, these people have amazing experiences. I've seen so many different things. So for us, it's like they sharing their experiences is really unavailable. Like it's amazing.
And if I can build on that, I'm very focused on personal branding for all my students, but the whole school Raffles is like this because, small classes, working on individuals, and let you also understand who you are. So it's not only about teaching you how to create your own profile, develop your resume in an efficient way, have an interview. But for me also, the personal coaching that we held already, actually last month, was very important. I was wondering through this path and learning also more about yourself. First, was that useful? But second question is, did you understand some kind of areas for you to focus on to become a better professional in branding?
Yeah. It's a super interesting question. I think that the course really helped all of us. And of course I can talk for me, but really helped me to really understand what are my areas of growth, what areas instead I'm really good at already, or I'm confident. And again, like what kind of areas I should improve in my personal life and in my professional life too. So that has been an amazing contribute. I think that, we've been able really to investigate not only, in the professional world, what is more required, what is the kind of attitude that you need to have, but really what is the contribution that you can give to the world. That I think that it's the mission that a lot of people are missing sometimes when they go out and seek for a job or seek for an experience. Because, if you go out and you look for an experience, you may not find it. But if you know already what you're looking for, then it's way easier. And I think that the course really helped us a lot to build that muscle also, the eye to really look for what we want, but also, a lot of work has to be done with your inner self to find that purpose, that mission that then, you bring on for your life probably. So that's actually a super important part. Don't remember the second question.
Second question was about if understanding more about your inner self and also probably the job market, are there one or two kind of goals in your future development as an individual that you think you should more focus on? Telling you a stupid example, but for example, maybe you learned that you need more to invest on negotiation because in this job there's a lot of that. I don't know. Is there anything you're focused on?
For sure. Like the part regarding the public
Yeah.
That's something
Public speaking, you mean, or the
no,
public?
it's like public
The
is like
audience?
the audience,
Ah.
the like I'm talking about like my presence on social medias, my really personal branding, like concretely speaking. So I work on myself a lot, so I'm quite confident in what I can do, what I cannot do. I know what I have to work on, but I'm not really doing that advertising work on myself. That is not easy. It depends, of course, on personalities. For me, it's not like the most easy of things. But at the same time, like I really want to tailor my profile to appear in a certain way. Because I'm also trying to understand, talking about that work that I'm doing, what type of professionals or what type of companies I'm really targeting. Like, what are the industries or the areas where I really want to work, so that, of course, inform actually my messaging as a personal brand. And it's also very interesting, all the switch in the mindset when you really think that you are a brand.
Exactly.
That's, I think, the most invaluable message that I got. We are a brand, so I need to sponsor myself. I need to have a precise identity, and I need to be able to communicate to the audience, that don't know me and maybe want to get to know me. But if I don't do that, that is actually my problem. No one is never gonna be interested in you. No one is gonna ever reach out to you. So that's actually, one of the most important lessons that I learned in this course. Yeah.
And haven't you asked to me what do I think about our company's needs? Looking for new profiles and people to collaborate.
Okay, I'm asking.
No, that's interesting.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because that's, I think, a crucial point. And I was self-making me this question to you. You know why? Because new generations, sorry to play this role and this game now, but it's true, are career switchers. If you are a strong company or brand, you are looking for people that are trustworthy. Mm-hmm. The problem is that nowadays probably is the biggest challenge, because maybe you identify and you really select a good profile, and then after a few time or whatever, they run away. And maybe they don't really deliver because they don't feel this kind of responsibility or bond with the company and the brand itself. So honestly, mostly talking about branding, if we all want to do this job, we need a strong commitment. Mm-hmm. Strong commitment means really understanding what you're doing, being part of the game, playing with your, being a team player, play the game with colleagues. So this is, I think, one of the most relevant characteristics. And the second one, and I think will give you and everyone a strong competitive advantage, is really to be up to speed and always very curious and fast in learning. Mm-hmm. Because, it's evident everything every day is updating on every different kind of subjects. And if before, as I told you, it was about talking about identity, now it's about the engagement, it's about being different on the market, it's about being up to speed with a strong purpose, credibility, whatever you mean. It means, and every morning you sit down and you have up to, I would say, 50 things you have to keep in mind to manage your brand, to develop your project, whatever. Maybe before it was 2. You know what I mean? Yeah. So being versatile, up to speed, fast, that is a kind of attitude.
Yeah. But I also ask you something that came to mind when you were saying that. It's like, is that a problem of the young generations, the new generation, the fact of not being able to stick with a company because they're getting bored and they want to switch? Or is that companies are not able anymore to connect with employees in the right way? And I talk about like internal branding, maybe, employees are perceiving that the company's talking outside in a way and inside in a different way. They don't feel it authentic. or we hear a lot of big companies sometimes abusing about the work of their employees and stuff like that. That's also maybe why people are getting easily tired of their jobs and switch to another company.
I think it's a very interesting question, and I would reply to you both, because on one side, probably it's part of new attitudes to need and to look for a work-life balance that is, sustainable for them and pleasable, and that's fine. But you absolutely touched also the point. In the last year, but recently, has been completely cut, because if you look at the news in the last week, everything is changing. Yeah. But anyway, most of the companies started to invest into internal branding, the smart working, to opening cafeterias and, enjoyment kind of activities for their employees, whatever. But again, we are always going back to the same basic rule. And don't laugh. It's not about putting a lipstick on a gorilla face. It's always like that, because, why there are so many companies that is completely the opposite, they're the other way around. People doesn't want to live because, I don't know, because they are really good companies where the kind of purpose, brand values are respected, and they are really spread among everything, the experience in the company, the employee's life, but also outside. These are healthy, good companies. What is not happening nowadays in most of the companies, again, it was a trend, to provide a good kind of environment to their employees, and they force themselves, and was not credible. So I think at the end of the day, this is the main point. You absolutely touched, I think, the point.
The truth stays in the middle, as always.
Yeah. And Fabio, but so, in your current experience, because you're still studying this beautiful master course, I would say, what are the kind of advice you can give to a young professional that wants to approach branding, or the course itself?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I would say come. That's the first advice. It's really like an amazing experience. So you have to try it to really understand what this is about. And as following the trying, I would say just really, if you feel like jumping, don't be scared and jump. It's an amazing experience in an amazing city, in an amazing institution. So I would say, there's plenty of people here that are waiting for you from different courses with different backgrounds. Also not be scared about, not having some background experience in branding. That's not needed, because you're going to build it here. Of course, maybe you're going to work a little bit more, but that's actually another thing you're not going to be scared of, working. You're here to invest your time. So, of course, you have to invest in the right way. And I think this is the right place to do it. And on the other side, I would say, be open. There's a lot of beautiful people here, a lot of international people from all over the world. And that's also like a good opportunity to practice English, to get better with the social skills. So it's really like, it's amazing, I would say. And, it just like, it's a matter of just, getting subscribed to the course.
Jump on board,
indeed.
In life, jump on board in life, in general terms, I think so. So now, thank you.
No question?
No.
Okay.
I think it was beautiful talking to you, and it was beautiful to have people listening to us. So sorry if we have been pretty long, but we are really brand enthusiasts. So thanks everyone, and it's an open invite. Let's meet up in Raffles. We are looking forward to meeting everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Grazie.
Thank you to Elena. We're waiting for you. So, let's meet us at Raffles. Bye-bye.
Grazie.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you, Fabio. Sorry about the little technical issues at the beginning, but I think that the conversation later on was definitely deep into the world of branding on one side and into the masters in branding for luxury fashion and design at Raffles Milano. I saw just one question in the meanwhile, but I strongly encourage to use either the chat or the question board to write down all of your questions, because my presentation is almost over and it's going to be time for me to answer to all of those questions. So don't be shy. It's your opportunity to ask whatever you have in mind right now, and I will be happy to reply. So let's go on with the presentation. Very few slides are missing. We mentioned already our career service, which will start working with you in the last months of your experience. I haven't mentioned the fact that the master starts every year in November and goes on until the October of the following year. So it's 12 months of availability that we ask you, but of course there is going to be some holidays in the winter, in the spring, in the summer. So we can say that it's 10 months intensive master course. And over the last few months, the career service will be in touch with you. And as Elena said before, we will develop also your personal branding. And we're going to do that thanks to our partnerships with Imdir and Krebs. But also we are going to organize portfolio night. We're going to provide you with internship and job opportunities, just in case you haven't already found one, thanks to one of our amazing teachers. And of course, our career service general job is to cooperate with companies and international students and keep your curriculum going around such amazing companies. So if you would like to have an updated number of our placement rate, please go on our website, because we keep on updating it week after week. We are already over 90% for students who graduated in November. We will see next November if we reach the 100% goal, which of course is our goal. But especially this master course, from what I could see and speak with my colleagues here, has never had any problem in placing students in the best studios or companies. So enough with the funny part. Let's go into the technical aspects of admission. I have summed up this admission process into 4 steps. The first one would be to be in touch with your advisor, and by registering to this webinar, it means that you already have an admission advisor assigned. So you should have received an email from me, from Eva, from Laura, or you will receive it in the next few days. And feel free to ask us any questions you might have about the course or about the admission process and so on and so forth. We would like to have this first info session with you to make sure that your profile fits the master course, to make sure that the school fits your expectations. And if you would like to go on with step number 2, you just need to send us some documents which are required for admission. Which are those documents? I will not make the list right now. I encourage you to download the second handout in the handout section, which is the admission process. You will find there a checklist. Well, I will list them for you anyway. The checklist is your passport. First of all, we need to know who we are talking to. Your CV, one motivational letter, which is the most important part of your application. And then if you have already a language certificate, your previous education, so the bachelor diploma, for example, as well as a portfolio project, if it's available. If the most important part is passport, CV, and motivational letter, because with these 3 documents, I can let you go on. If you're missing any of the other documents, don't worry at the moment. We can build your profile also after you had the interview with the program director, with Elena, whom you met today already. So she will meet you one by one. You will talk about the documents you submitted. It's not an exam about your knowledge of branding or marketing or strategy. It's a personal interview and conversation regarding your expectations, regarding your commitment. This is a keyword that she used and that we would like to highlight. We are going to work a lot, work hard, so we need committed students, but the reward that you will get outside of the master, after you finish the master, will be much bigger than the effort you put in it, that you're going to be so happy about it. So after the interview with the program director, with Elena, we are going to be able to give you the admission kit, which is your admission certificate. If you got it, congratulations, as well as a couple of extra documents which are necessary to make your enrollment formal. What are those documents? They are the enrollment form and the general regulations, which you need to fill in and sign, as well as your payment plan options. The fee for the master depends on a series of factors. First of all, if you are European or non-European. For non-European students, the fees are 27,000 euros. For European students, they are 22,000 euros. But at the same time, you should consider that right now are still active some financial aid opportunities, like, for example, a 20% discount off the tuition fee if you complete your application within the end of the month, within the end of June. So don't be shy, start straight away, and you will be able not only to be enrolled in such amazing master, but also to benefit from the 20% discount. Having said that, visit this webpage to make sure, to check all the available scholarship and discounts. The one which is active right now, I repeat once again, is the 20% early bird discount. So if you want it, you really should apply within the next week and then complete the enrollment within the following week, so the end of May. So this webinar, it's exactly the right moment. And hopefully see you in Raffles Milano. It's time right now for our Q&A session. I saw some of them, but if I'm not wrong, Luke is going to help me and moderate the questions that our audience sent us.
Yes, indeed. So I will come back in, and thank you already for indeed the questions. I saw various ones coming in. Also to highlight for the people watching the recording, you can also still write your questions. We cannot answer them right now, of course, but we will make sure to send them through to the staff of Raffles. So you can still do that. You can also still answer the polling questions. And for those who haven't done so, please let us know your feedback. I'm going to open up another one soon. And yeah, let's go jump into the questions. Lois had a question asking that I understood there may be classes on Saturday.
Okay, so yes, I mentioned that, but to be precise, the classes will be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. On Saturday, on special occasions, for special events, for some visits, or if a very strong personality comes to the school, we might ask your availability to be present also on Saturday. But the focus of the course will be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday afternoon.
Okay, good. Thank you. Next question from Attila. Attila is asking, what will be the context offered for the college in the fashion world?
Okay, so that's a good question, also because the fashion world is part of the title of the master, and it connects to what I explained to you at the beginning of the hybridization of subjects and of disciplines. So you will work next year in a school which not only will be offering the masters in branding and let you speak with the agencies and the companies that you find in the brochure, but also in this school we do have a fashion design course, a fashion marketing and communication course, and every year those coordinators, those courses bring to the school new partners and new projects. Just an example is that our course coordinator for fashion design is the founder, creative director of Lesilla, which is a shoes and accessories fashion brand. Our fashion marketing and coordinator is a general manager for Dolce & Gabbana. And these are just 2 names that you can, check out. But every year and every 3 years, because every undergraduate course is made of 3 years, we have lots of new companies coming to the school. So right now, I don't know which will be the fashion contacts that we can offer to you, next year. But I can tell you, for example, that another course coordinator is working for La Double J, which is another fashion company based here in Milano. So it's an ongoing process of exchange between this course and the other fashion courses that our school offers.
Okay, great. Thank you. We go to the next question. So I think it's been answered, but Thomas was asking, do you offer financial help for the fees? And I saw also a follow-up question, which I think you also mentioned. Is there a difference of fees between being from EU or not?
Yes, so there is a difference of fees between European Union students and not. Once again, the full fee for non-European is 27,000 euros. The full fee for a European student is 22,000 euros. And concerning financial help, the one promotion that we have active right now is the 20% off the tuition fee. If you want to go a little bit deeper, but you find this information written down in the admission process, which you find in the handout section, is that the fee is divided into 2 parts, the enrollment fee and the tuition fee. Also, the enrollment fee is different between EU and non-EU. So this is why it's important that we be in touch with every single one of you, and that we will, according also to the time of the year in which your application arrives, we will let you have a personalized payment plan according to your nationality, your promotion, and so on and so forth. Also, I didn't mention before, the enrollment is confirmed after admission by paying the enrollment fee. And you have 2 options. You can also decide to pay all together, all at once, make a down payment and have an extra discount of 5%. So that's another financial help we offer. Or we can divide the remaining fees after the enrollment into several installments with a payment plan, which begins in June and goes on in August and November. So we're trying to do our best to facilitate your arrival in Milano.
Great, thank you. That's appreciated. Talking about the arrival in Milano, I saw actually a question to the chat as well coming up. Oh, it's blinkering. Sorry for that. It is about the accommodation.
Yes,
Could
sure.
you say if there's help with the accommodation?
Most definitely, yes. By speaking with our advisors, which is the first step after this webinar, you will also receive a list of agreements that the school made, not just with accommodation providers, which means owners or agencies or residences or dorms, but also all kinds of different service providers that will make your life in Milano easier. So we selected carefully the services helping you with accommodation or the agencies and so on, because we trust them. Of course, you're free to choose whatever you want. Our suggestion, personal suggestion, not our suggestion, is to book a temporary accommodation for the first month, maybe between November and January, something like this. And then to understand if you would like to share an apartment with some of your classmates, or if you would like to change. I mean, you will learn about the city in the meanwhile, and so at the same time you will know which kind of experience you would like to live. If you would like to stay close to the school or close to a friend, or I don't know, you don't like the city center, you prefer another neighborhood. This is going to come up during your first month. So my first suggestion is book something temporarily from abroad, arrive, make sure you are there, you are at school, and then give yourself a couple of months to understand the city, and then book for a more permanent accommodation for the following year.
Great, thank you. So that hopefully answered that question. I actually opened up a poll as well on some information you would like to still receive more about. So housing was a top point. So in this regard, I hope that helped you with that as well. Otherwise, still let us know if you have any questions. I just saw a question from Marianne. First, of if this session was being recorded. The answer is yes. So we have recorded this session, and we'll be sending it through to everybody. So you will receive it in your inbox. So I know some people joined in late, or some people I think had to go earlier already. So you are able to watch it whenever you want. Question from her as well is, can we talk to current students on their experience?
Well, first of all, you had the opportunity to listen from Fabio as a current student, and this is something that it doesn't happen often because usually students are a little bit shy and don't want to, share too much. We cannot put you in touch directly with them for privacy reasons, but there are a couple of ways in which you can be in touch with them. First of all, follow our social media and ask openly if anybody following our social media pages is a current student, so that you can make a direct relationship with them, because we cannot put you in touch directly with them for privacy reasons unless you are already a student. So after you enroll as a member of the of our school, then we can ask both of you if you would like to meet, and we can put you in touch. But as a prospective students, unfortunately, I will not be able to accommodate such a request. You will need to find a way to find out who our students are in social media.
Okay, thank you. Make sure to check in social media Raffles Milano,
yes,
so that you have also the right one. And let's see, I think those were the questions actually that I've seen so far. So if you have any questions, do let us know still. Otherwise, I think all is clear and we can slowly wrap it up. I think there were some contact details as well. Here's
not
at least
really,
about the
no.
scholarship on the screen.
No contact details. You will be contacted by us one by one, so feel free to reply to to our email. Just in case, check your spam folder. Sometimes it happens that our email go there. So check your inbox, check your spam folder. There will be an email from me, from Eva, or from Laura. That's just the three of us, and we will be assisting you through all the process of admission, enrollment, visa, if there is a need for a visa, and arrival in Milano. So as once again, we are very dedicated to each and every one of you. We are a boutique school. We will take great care of each of you throughout all the process.
Great. Thank you very much, Jacobo. Having said that, then we'll round off the session with that. Just last point that you did point out in the beginning is that under apps at the bottom and then handouts, you can actually also still get the handouts, right? The brochures. So
yes, please do so. Also, the brochure is brand new. So we just updated the brochure. So in case you were in touch with us and received a brochure in the next few weeks, this is new and this is more updated. So go there, download it. It's new. Some new names, some new interesting facts. We didn't go through that because you can simply read it. But I hope that the conversation between Elena and Fabio and myself was more useful than a simple brochure. So once again, thank you for being with us today, and see you all in Raffles Milano.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.